Hello, welcome to Polymedia. My name is Ines Lozano, and today we're going to be talking about how to write a generic statement of purpose. Why do we want to write a statement of purpose? And what are the goals that we pursue by working on this video? First of all, we will explain the basics and how to write a statement of purpose. Another goal is to reflect upon the context and readership of your text. And the third goal is to teach you the basic structure, useful phrases, and tips to make your statement of purpose a compelling and persuasive one. Now, these are the things that we're going to be talking about today. First of all, what is your statement of purpose used for? Second, who is the reader of a statement of purpose? We'll move on to what to think about before you write, the main sections of a statement of purpose, tips and structure for your statements of purpose, some useful phrases, and finally, some conclusions. Now, what is your statement of purpose used for? Very often we encounter, this headline that we should write a statement of purpose for either a job application or a university application. And that can be daunting because it's a type of text that it's very specific to certain formats, and each has its own rules. Here we're going to learn how to write a generic one that has a structure that could work for everything. We should always think, when we write a statement of purpose, of who is our readership. No text is complete until someone reads it or hears it and completes it with information. This is not a one-way type of communication, but two. So you need to think about who is going to read your text. In the case of companies, you might be read by the HR department as like a preliminary stage, but also by the head of the department that you wish to work for, or program, or someone in charge of internships if you want to work on an internship. In the case of universities, it could be either the head of the department or someone else who is in charge of evaluating applications for different programs. Before you write, I want to give you some preliminary questions, just because we tend to basically just write something and then it's done, and we just want to get it over with, because it's something we don't wish to do anymore. But calmly thinking about some issues before we write is extremely important. Now, I would advise two things. First of all, I would advise you to do some research on the university or company you wish to apply for. Bear in mind, no university and no company wishes to receive an application that's not specific for them. They want someone who's good for the position, either academic or professional. Either educational or professional, something that is specific. So do some research. What are their programs? What are their teaching facilities? Why is the university good for you? Are there any societies that you wish to enroll in? And in the case of companies, what are their values, their departments, resources, policies, research on everything to make sure your statement of purpose, comes out right. Second, as I said, make sure not to write a generic statement of purpose. Make sure the statement of purpose that you send doesn't look like it could work just the same for any company. For Google and Facebook and Tesla, it would be the same statement of purpose. Make it specific. Make sure they know you are interested in that particular position. The text should have three main sections: introduction, body, and conclusion. And you might be thinking, well, this is the basic structure of any text. And this is right, because our brain processes in three parts normally. And we always, in order to make a good text, need to have a brief paragraph at the beginning, an explanation of the ideas introduced in the paragraph of the introduction, and a conclusion to remind the reader of what we spoke about. This is the key to having a good statement of purpose. In the introduction, it's extremely important that you write a good introduction. It should just be one paragraph where you explain essential information about yourself and state why you are applying. You should include also the full name of the position you're applying for so that they know exactly what you're interested in. Regarding the body, I would advise giving either 2 or 3 paragraphs. Here you can explain your background, either academic or professional, what you aim at doing if you get the position. Bear in mind, people from companies or universities want people who are active, who have initiative. And make sure you have plans, you have goals, and you have things you want to do with them to improve what they already have. Also, you should highlight why you think you're a suitable candidate. Do you align with their values? Does your experience match what they do? Do you have a vocation for the research they're carrying out? And finally, you should include your strengths and also your weaknesses. I know this can be hard, but make sure your weaknesses are also there. I would advise that you state your weaknesses. For example, you may not have enough work experience, or you might not have had international experience, but do state, I really wish to, or I would very much like to improve this weakness through some of the programs that you offer. Imagine they require you to have a higher level of English, and they have English courses, so you should know they have English courses and say that you will enroll. Make sure they know that you know. Finally, the conclusion should just be 1 paragraph. You should state the most relevant ideas of your statement of purpose as a reminder, like a concluding thing. And you can include contact information such as your email or your phone number. Now, let's move on to some tips to structure your statement of purpose. First of all, you may use a metaphor to endow your statement of purpose with greater textual coherence. For example, first paragraph in red, throughout my childhood and early adulthood, I was fascinated by the intricacies of language and its evolution. This road has led me to applying for a position at your MA in Historical Linguistics. This road has led me, by using this metaphor, it sounds so much better, right? Another example, I have for a long time aimed at starting a professional journey as enriching as the one your company offers. This professional journey is another metaphor that looks really good on statements of purpose. Now, some useful phrases, just a few to get us started. I have for a long time felt a deep interest for X. This curiosity led me to X. As a result of my growing expertise in the field of X, I strongly believe that my experience as a team leader, for example, could be beneficial to your company's, for example, recent leadership policy. And also, in spite of my short professional experience, given my recent graduation, and here you're stating your weakness, I am eager to learn and eventually contribute to training future interns in the company. See, these sentences endow the text with so much more than basic sentences. I would advise using these from time to time. Conclusions. A statement of purpose is your presentation and the best opportunity to make a good first impression. So make sure your language is correct, coherent, and cohesive. Use structure to lead your reader into your ideas by using an introduction, a body, a conclusion. Thank you.